Hello everyone, this is Roxas1359. Welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy X HD Remastered. Last time, we ended up facing Maester Seymour again! And beat him again! And found out we're a figment of the unconscious mind. This plot just got silly. And that's dumb. It's very dumb. In fact, it's the one thing I really don't like about this plot.
Looks like we got a job to do, yeah?
If anything should happen in the water, we're relying on you three. If it gets dangerous, pull out quick.
Right.
Be careful, okay?
Okay, we will be careful, no worries. I mean, I can't be touched. I'm a figment of imagination. The dream thing is one of the major things in Final Fantasy X that I'm not a fan of. I would have actually accepted time travel. I would have gladly accepted time travel. And here's my thing with the Faith. All the people of Zanarkand who survived the war that became Faith to, summon a memory of the city so that it never sleeps. You could rebuild the city. I mean, sure, it'd take time. Sure, it'd be difficult. But history has shown you rebuild and don't turn into figments of imagination. But what is it that we have to do to get through Gagazet? We have to do technically two trials of Mount Gagazet in order to continue. The first one happens to be hitting a target with a blitz ball. This is a lot easier than I'm making it look. I swear. At the same time, what did the other summoners have to do when they got to this? Like, did they have to bring a blitzball with them? It's around this point of the game I start to question a lot of things in the game, because it's at this point of the game, and specifically this part where we get closer to the end, that the plot just goes bonkers. And I don't mind bonkers plots, but this plot was grounded in a little bit of, making sense, and then it suddenly, boom, your dream. And I'm just not a fan of that. I would have accepted time travel. And that's one of the rare occasions in which I think time travel would actually really work. I mean, it worked a bit in Final Fantasy VIII. Not as much, mind you, but I think the setup for this one's a little bit better. Sin being able to send people through to different times. That would make sense. I mean, Sin is all-powerful and pretty much a god in this world. God of death. But, I mean, time travel, not exactly far-fetched, believe me. But let's move on to our second trial, which I also have the question. Did Jecht, Braska, and Auron have to do these trials? Did they have to do what we're doing next? Did that mean that Braska and Auron had to swim with their equipment? Because our next one, we have to line people up with the right switches for the right size. It's a good thing we have 3 people that conveniently go in water, and it's color-coded. So pretty much green is for Riku, blue for Tidus, and red for Wakka. It's also size coordinated, so the smallest one's obviously Riku, medium is Tidus, and then Wakka is the large one. And there you go. Congratulations, we have solved the trials of Mount Gagazet. We have solved the puzzles. Yay. Yeah, I know. And we're gonna have to redo the first trial again in order to get another one of the Dark Aeons to spawn. Specifically, a Dark Aeon that I hate, because it has the most health out of all the Dark Aeons, and you can't tell when it's in SOS mode. But when you combine both trials, the way opens up to where we can head off to Zanarkand. But we're not gonna be heading off to Zanarkand just yet. We have some chests that we can get around the place. And also, I recommend making sure that you train. Because guess what? This game just loves to throw one boss at you right after another. So we're gonna be fighting another boss. This boss isn't too bad, but it introduces a new status ailment that is also bullshit. Well, no, I shouldn't say bullshit. It makes the game a little bit harder. It's just an annoying one because it makes it to where we can't use our overdrive. And I'll show that off because it happens to us during the actual battle itself, so we don't need to worry. But there's a save sphere right here. So train up while you can. Pretty much Mount Gagazet's creatures are inside right here as well because we're still on Mount Gagazet. But we also get one new type of enemy called the Dark Flan, which is very annoying. It knows flare, and that's pretty much all it will spam. And being a flan, it takes forever to kill. And it's also giant. So let's head to the top and get the heck out of this cave. Which... very nice looking cave, I might add.
They'll be upon us soon. She has sent fiends to test our summoner's strength.
Who is she?
Yuna Leska.
Lady Yuna Leska.
In Zanarkand, she awaits the arrival of the strongest.
She is still alive?
As much as Micah and Seymour.
Ah, zombies.
I see.
Lost your nerve?
No. Nothing frightens me now.
Braska would be proud.
Then I must not let him down.
Good to know. So, let us continue onward, shall we? But, before we do that, we're gonna need to take off our equipment because, you know, going in with a no encounter shield, not the best idea. I recommend having Berserk Ward and Dark Ward items because this enemy can cause some dark. I don't know why I'm going to put on Death and Zombie Ward. I don't think I do. Poison Ward and Confuse Ward. We'll put that on just in case confusion and poison. And let us get to Yuna. Let us see. Stone Proof, Death to Zombie Ward, Poison Ward, Sleep Ward, Silence Ward is what we're going to need for Yuna. So, there we go. And let's go back to the save because I realized I haven't saved in a while. And random battle with Machina. As you can see, Riku is inside my party now, but we're not going to deal with the Machina. Machina is, you know, not really something to deal with. So, let's change our formation because I forgot to put Yuna back in and I forgot to fully heal her. But also because I don't want to fight Seymour Flux again in case I screw up. I don't screw up because I'm powerful enough to deal with these bosses, but it never hurts to save, ladies and gentlemen. It never hurts. But, one last one. Lord of the Wood! It always comes back to the Lord of the Wood! Goodbye, Lord of the Wood! That is a Mandragoda, ladies and gentlemen. One of the recurring enemies in the Final Fantasy universe. Looks like the Lord of the Wood.
It comes!
Okay, that kind of came out of nowhere. How did we not see that? All right, boss time against... I forget this thing's name, actually. So, let's start off with Hastega, which I taught to Yuna because it's a very helpful ability. So, let us start by using an overdrive. Unfortunately, I don't have my... Oh, crud, I messed up. Unfortunately, I don't have Waka's overdrive, which I realized that's what I was saving for this boss in particular. Meet the Sanctuary Keeper, ladies and gentlemen. This thing can get darkness, but it will counterattack with Photon Wings. Photon Wings debuffs, I believe, and causes sleep, causes silence, causes darkness, and causes curse. Curse is a new status. Curse pretty much makes it that you cannot use your overdrives at all. Curse is very annoying to deal with. Curse is also the only ability in the game besides death that Ribbon does not protect against. Yeah, it's weird. Ribbon does not. It protects against every other status ailment that's in this game except for Curse and Death. Death, I kind of understand. Curse? No. So much for the ultimate item. But let's try and make this Sanctuary Keeper stop. But luckily for us, we had remedies so we could get rid of our other things. Remedies do not get rid of Curse either. For that, to get rid of Curse, you're going to need holy water, I believe. But luckily, Yuna, with her massive amounts of magic, can do nearly 9,999 damage to the Sanctuary Keeper with Holy. And she's got enough MP to spare, so Holy for the win. Does a lot of damage, and the Sanctuary Keeper is just about done. Sanctuary Keeper can be kind of difficult. Not as difficult as Seymour Flux, if you ask me. If you can take Seymour Flux, then you can take this thing just fine. But let's take care of it. Yuna's being a real MVP with these bosses lately, and she's going to continue to be for a while. And overkill. That takes care of the Sanctuary Keeper. Enjoy as you see this same exact boss in Final Fantasy X2. In the same exact spot. For some odd reason. Never explained why.
Hey, can't we rest a little?
No need. We reach the summit soon.
I know. That's why I want to stop for a bit. Soon means that there's not much time left.
Riku.
Fine. I'll think on the way.
And level ups for all the people involved, and 2 return spheres for getting an overkill.
Hey, come on, let's go.
We are. We're almost there, aren't we?
We've come a long way.
What's so funny?
You remind me of myself. Before, the closer I came to Zanarkand, the more I wondered. When we arrive, Braska will call the final Aeon. He will fight Sin, then die. I thought my mind was made up long before. But when I stood here, my resolve wavered.
Never would have figured. Legendary Guardians choke sometimes too, yeah?
Legendary Guardian. I was just a boy. A boy about your age, actually. I wanted to change the world too. But I changed nothing. That is my story.
Well, it's kind of a sad book. But let us get to the spoils. So, using up sphere grid time just to pad out the episode. Waka's just about done with his sphere grid, which is good. Don't worry, the next file that we're going to be loading up, Waka will be kind of overpowered, to say the least. And do that. And let us get to the summit, shall we? We really have come a long way, ladies and gentlemen, since we first left Besaid. Welcome to Zanarkand.
A city dead for 1,000 years. A city I had to see with my own eyes. The end of Yuna's journey. last chapter in my story. My thoughts, they kept floating up and then slipping through my fingers, slipping away before I could pin them down with words.
Yuna, I say no. If we go down there, then you'll...
Riku, you're a true friend, and I thank you, but I must go. Down to Zanarkand.
I'm not saying we shouldn't go. But shouldn't we think about it some more? There's gotta be some kind of way we can save you, Yuna!
All my life, I knew this moment would come.
Yuni...
Thank you, Riku. Thank you for everything.
Don't say that, Yuni. It's not over yet.
Tell Sid, thank you.
No. You can tell him yourself.
Please.
Yuni, don't say that because we're gonna see each other again, okay?
Kimari, let's go.
But it looks like Yuna's dropped something. So, let's be nosy.
Sir Orin, Kimari told me, when my father wanted me taken from Bavel to Besaid, it was you who told Kimari, right? I had always wanted to meet you someday. I am truly glad that I had that chance. Having you as a guardian was so great an honor. I don't know how to thank you. Perhaps, if I defeat Sin, that will be my thanks to you. That's what I'll do. Yes. I will challenge Sin. I will defeat Sin. If you are all there watching this, then I guess Sin is already gone. And so am I. I suppose. Anyway, I just wanted to say, Sir Orin, I thank you. Kimari, do you remember the first day we met? I was only 7. My father had defeated Sin, and all Bavel was celebrating. Everyone was saying what a hero my father was. I was so happy. But when night came, it occurred to me. My father had defeated Sin, and now he was dead. Now, I was all alone. I couldn't sleep. So I wandered into the town, away from the celebrating crowds. I stood on the bridge in Bavel, where my father and I had parted. Standing there, alone, I could see the fields where he had fought Sin. Then, you appeared, Kimari. You said you were looking for the daughter of Braska, remember? At first, I was so scared. Until I realized what a gentle person you are. You weren't used to talking to children. When I told you that I was Braska's daughter, you said you would take me as far from Bavel as you could. That it was the wish of a man facing death. I think I cried then, because that was when I knew my father was dead, and I would never see him again. You just held me, without saying a word. I cried after we got to Besaid, too. When you tried to go, after leaving me in the care of the temple, I held on to you crying, "Don't go, don't go." And you listened, Kimahri. You stayed. Kimahri, thank you. Thank you so much. And I've always liked your broken horn. Waka, Lulu. I'll never forget my days spent with you, growing up in Besaid. We always played together, us and Chapu. That's why I was always so happy, I think. And when you refused to let me become a summoner, and I did it anyway, I'm sorry. I've always wanted to apologize. You know, when you tried to stop me then, really, I was happy. I could tell you really cared about me. You were like my big brother and sister. No, I think you really were my big brother and sister. What else? I love watching you play blitzball, Waka. I even love it when you scold me, Lulu. Really. I guess that leaves the newest Guardian. Star player of the Xanarkand Ames. You are. I am. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that we met. We haven't even known each other that long, but it's funny. So this is what it feels like. It's a much more wonderful feeling than anything I had ever imagined. Wonderful. But it hurts sometimes. I wonder. I just want to say thank you for everything. Maybe that's why it hurts. When I think about us never being together again at all. I'm afraid. No, I shouldn't say that. I'll do that part over.
What you up to?
That explains what she was doing that one time. So, let's continue on to Xanarkand, ladies and gentlemen. We're at the last part of the game. In terms of story, we still have a plethora of things to do later on. But first things first, let us head down to Xanarkand itself. And make sure we put back on that peaceful shield. Don't want any fiends attacking us. And believe me, Xanarkand is full of them, including one called the Grendel. Huh. That explains a lot for Seymour, actually. And I realize that only people who have read Beowulf and the book The Grendel will understand what I'm talking about. I wonder if there's a dragon here. Well, there was the Spectral Keeper. It all comes together. And we've come in full circle. The first scene of the game, one of the last scenes.
listen to my story. This may be our last chance.